Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with my companion system utilized with Narrative Pro. In the last one, we got the ability to add our companions to our system. In this one, we're going to start with part one of the functionality of adding creating the party essentially, and then adding NPCs to that party. In this one, we're essentially just creating the party and seeing if people can be added to the party. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And it's going to be starting with a function that is common with components in a way, because you can go about what I'm about to do in two different ways. And this is the way I choose simply because it's just what I do. And if you choose to do get owner and then cast the owner, you can do that because the owner's loaded, so casting isn't going to cost you anything. Um, but this is my habit, so that's what I'm going to keep it at. So this first function is called get owning controller player definition. Cool. So next thing we want to do is we want to get an input added on here. We're going to call it owning controller. At which point we need to get the narrative player controller. Just the regular one. We don't want the BP one. And then out of the owning controller, we're going to do get controlled character. This is narrative one, so it gives us the narrative player character. At which point we will get player definition. And then finally get player definition for our player definition. Perfect. Now that we have this set up, we want to create a new variable, not a local, an actual variable that we will call player definition. I'm going to put it under Wonderscape Creations. It doesn't need to have anything special or specific or fancy. At which point, we now need to create our next function, because this next function is going to go inside here. So let's go ahead and hit the plus sign, and we're going to call this fill player party slot. I'm not sure. I've done some pretty silly things. Yeah, and that's fine. At which point we will open this input up and name it player definition. Probably because I left this like this or something. And we'll get player definition, TLCOA one. And then we're going to go ahead and do a, sorry, 1 second here. We need to do a for each loop, but not of the companions. This is where we take control. And what I mean by that is if we come over here and we hit this variable plus sign, we want to do party slot gameplay tags. And obviously that we now know we want this to be a gameplay tag array. And this is how we are going to have our our party size being modular. Now, we're going to go ahead and hit this. For me, it's 6 times. Because the first one we want is society, companion party. Oh, I don't have my player. Let me pause it while I go ahead and make that. If you haven't done it, go ahead and do that as well yourself. All right. So for me, like I said, need to make sure I have 6 array elements. First one for me, society, companion party, player. Society, companion party, companion 1. Society, companion party, companion 2. Now, the reason I am choosing to do an array instead of making a map or doing this all in a struct is actually me thinking ahead for when it comes time for doing the UI and whatnot. Because there's a functionality that arrays have that structs and maps do not, that allows me to move data around, meaning I can change the data, swap the data between arrays 0 and 4, and that's exactly what I want. It's what I need. So now that we have this array and you have your tags set up how you want, we need to pull out this array and do a for each loop. Now, once here, the first thing we are going to do is break. Oh, right. We haven't made the party yet. Equal. We want to see if this is the player. For a good reason. If it's the player, then what we are going to want to do now is add this to an array. But in order to do that, let's go ahead and create it. This one we're going to call party. And it's going to be party slots. No, not party slots. What did I call it? Oh, I spelled it wrong. Part slot. Let me fix that now. Making changes to structs when they're part of a blueprint is what causes issues. Now, if I do party slot, there we go. Because I want to be able to see it when we show it off. We now need to pull this out. Add unique. Hit true. This one. Drag this up here. And we will get this tag. That's right. Come out of here. Search for make. Now we can add this to the slot tag. We can mark this as true. And the reason we're marking it as true is because the player definition that we have right here there we go. So now the system will automatically know that the first slot, which is the player definition, we made sure, which is the players, we've made sure of it. It's probably the only hard-coded thing we have in the entire system, is set up and true. If you wanted to, you could make this a variable so the developer could make the choice they want, but me, not necessary. Now, if it's false, we still want to add unique. We still want to do all of these things here, but with a pretty big difference. And what that difference is, we're just adding the slot name. There's no character, it is empty. And that is what we need, is for it to be empty. Compile and save. Now, once it's done, obviously add a return node. We are good to go. Now let's go back here to our get owning controller and fill player party slot. There we go. Now compile. We're going to come here to the begin play. Come here to companions. Get owning controller player definition. Get a reference to self. Compile and save. We hit play. Give it a moment here. There's a lot that we have in here. Hit F8. So selector, player controller, companions, and we got party. And it's been created, and the player Arya is in there. The rest of these are empty. They say false, so everything is working as it should. Let's go ahead and hit stop here. Now then, the next thing we need to make is a pure function that we're going to need. And this one we are going to call find first empty slot. Come here to party. For each loop. And come over here. Actually, hold down B. This. We want to break this. We only want the bool showing, so we can uncheck those. And obviously, if it returns false, we want to return. And we want it to be this array element, which is the available slot. Now there's one more thing we need to do, because we're going to use this as a multi-purpose pure function. So drag out of here and get a return node with the plus sign here. Turn it to a Boolean party full question mark. There we go. We've now made this multi-purpose. That way we can check to see if the party's full. If it is, ignore everything. If it's not, find then give us the first available slot. With that in mind and that completed, we will go on to the final function that we're going to be making in this video, and it is called try add NPC companion to party slot. We need an NPC definition. All right. And the first thing we're going to do is find first empty slot. Notice that I forgot to do something. We need to make it pure. Hold down B for a branch. We're going to check to see if the party's full. If it's not full, well, if it is full, then we want to return. We don't need to do anything. If the party isn't full, 1 second, it looks like I'm doing something special here. Let me pause and double check something here. No, it's not something special. It's an important check. We come over here to the party. Get an is empty. B to get a branch. If it's not empty, we need to do an additional check because we don't want to try to spawn two of the same NPCs. Because it could accidentally happen at some point, but we want to guarantee that it doesn't. So now we get the party and do a for each loop. Going to break. We just need the character. Get NPC definition. Don't know if that's actually needed. Let's find out. Get NPC definition here. Do an equals. You may be able to plug this in here. I'm not 100% sure. They are both object references, but I haven't tested it, so I'm going to keep it as is. It doesn't really hurt it too much. Branch. If it's true, so if the NPC we're trying to add is already part of the party, return. You don't want to do anything. Now, if it goes through the whole thing, then let me hold down C here. There's one other thing we need to do that we will do once we get to followers. Add a follower logic. But for now, all we need to do is add NPC to empty party slot. At which point, we get that. Additionally, this actually goes way down here. We need this right here, the true, because if it's empty, we don't need to do any of this check, but we do still need to add it. Place that here. There we go. Now, if we double click on this, this is the event that we made. And there's one thing more that we need to go ahead and do, but not in this episode. Because in the next one is when we do the complex part of finding the companion slot and spawning everything and doing all that information and having the NPC follow you. So we will go ahead and set that up in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching.